Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Martell, at this point, blood, just Section 8 your house. Is it your house? They saying that your house ain't selling because it ain't up to code. Did you pass your test yet? Are you handling business? Like, what are you doing? Playing? And what a slap in the face when your kid tells you that you used to be their favorite parent, but recently you keep dropping and dropping. What? Goodness gracious. And besties, at this rate, as this show is, because it wasn't good this episode, they might as well bring coleslaw to the TV. We might as well go on and see her appearance. It got to be coming, and they talk about it every episode. Well, that's all Martell talks about because that's all he got, right? Oh, child. The people, honey. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now, baby, let's kiki and ha ha and get into another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 8, Humpsville, Alabama. Now, where did they get the title of this from? Well, how would you rate this week's episode, besties? It was very, I don't know. I think this show has ran its course. Um, yeah, either Will needs to come on with his family and whatever he got going on. Sharon needs to come in. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe a new younger couple. I would like to see that. But child, we gotta shake it up or leave it alone. It's like a wet towel. You know how you wrench it? You know how you wrench a towel? Yeah, the show has been wrenched. But besties, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Please like the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now, besties, I got some tea to tell y'all, but I'm gonna wait to the end of this recap and hopefully I'll remember. And hopefully you'll like the video. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. Let me write a note. Okay. Okay. So let's get into it. So Chris goes over to Martell's house that won't sell. Ooh, Martell, you need to level your life up, bruh. I mean, there comes a point where you really have to evaluate your life and say to yourself, you know, my girl that I keep talking about, she's a bum. I need to move on. I need to get something else. You know, maybe get nothing else, Martell. Maybe just get a life of your own by yourself. Create your own happiness and then add to it. Because what does Coleslaw have going on? Because before I asked her to appear on my television, what is she going to be bringing besides attitude, braces, smacking her lips, rolling her eyes, talking about what she need, what the baby need, what somebody else is doing in their life, in their household? Let me put the brakes on that. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready, but what is going on? So Chris comes over, meets up with Martell. They both got tape measures because Martell wants to measure the house. Excuse me, measure the house because he's ready to buy furniture for Coleslaw and the kids. They're moving in. And he wants to get Chris's opinion on how things went between him and Marsau last week. Okay. So Chris comes over thinking that Martell is staging the house because, Martell had him try to sell it. Then he took it from Chris. went to somebody else. It didn't sell. So Chris already know like what is going on. Why is this house still pending? Okay. So when he tells them, oh no, I'm gonna move, oh, coleslaw in. Chris is like, huh? Do what? Y'all moving in? Martell, he's singing the same old song. No, we at least got to be married first for us to live together. So that's not happening. Martell, where do you live? Do you live with Marlene? Is that why we don't film over there no more? Because your stuff gonna be in the background. She gonna mess up and say, "Go to your room. It's your turn to take out the trash." Where does Martell live? Does anybody know? Child is giving couch potato at mom's crib. Okay, so so Chris is like, oh boy, well, whoa, dude, you starting all over, blood. Wow. And he said, we've been rocking together. Me and a coleslaw, me and my coleslaw been rocking together. She's my girl. She got my kids. So I think she can come on in here. I'll go ahead and take care of her over here. So, Chris, like, you gonna get married? What y'all doing? You gonna do this all over? What happens if woo, woo, woo? He doing all the what ifs, like a mentor supposed to do. Oh, that's my girl. Don't matter if we get married or not. Martell is not marrying that chick. Because we have to know him and Melody has been divorced for about 5 years, right? He's been messing with Coleslaw. I almost said her name. He been messing with her like 5, 7 years before that. They have been together over 10 years. He's not marrying you, girl. You don't have nothing going on. Is she in nursing school? Wasn't she supposed to go to nursing school? So he like, I just don't want no errors moving forward. So Chris reminds him, blood, I told you to strap up, wrap it up. Don't be, spreading your stuff all over the place. And so Martell said, and how many kids do you have, Chris? And he like 4, and they laugh. He like, yeah, we needed to wrap it up. And it's like, no, Martell, it's not the same. Chris has been married for 30 plus years. Okay. Him and Nell came into their relationship with a kid each, and then they got married and had 2 kids together. You were already married with 3 kids. You had a side piece for 5 to 7 years, and then your butt is spread it all over town, and your side piece and your wife got pregnant together at the same time. And honey, don't have me ask, was Trish pregnant too? Is that where her anger coming from because she went and got rid of hers? I'm just saying. So it's not the same. And then you lost your family and had a number 4 with your wife, and then you added another one to the side piece. Not the same, Martell. Stop playing with us. So Chris tells him that him and Marsau sounded like 2 big beeps. And I was like, clock that T. And so Chris says, y'all always cackling. Y'all always cackling. And it's like, right, yeah, like 2 birds. Beep, beep, choop, 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 choop. They just always going at it. So, and at this point, I'm just like, can y'all don't have to be friends. Can y'all be something else? You can be an associate. You can be friends with my brother, and you just the homie. You know what I'm saying? So Martell is like, well, how is my personality, my character? What would you say about me, Chris? I just want to know what you think about me, what you think matters to me, mentor. So he said, besides the Marsau mess, you're a stand-up guy. And so Martell like, yeah, because I don't be lying. I don't be lying. And so Chris is like, so what's the problem? Marsau is a compulsive liar, and his story be changing. It's been changing for 2 years. Child. They've been off balance since Martell said he slept with them 20 women. Martell, you was wrong for that. See, his marriage was crumbling. He was getting sought out. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And he was crumbling down to the ground. Martell thinks Marsau been kicking him since he's been down. You ain't supposed to kick a man when he down. But all this was 5 years ago, and it's time to move past it. Chris asked, can they move past this? And so Martell is like, well, it's within him. Like it's up to him to make the decision. I'm ready. I got to get him on the same page, right? So they talk about, the relationship between Martell and Maurice. So Martell is like, well, Maurice treats me kind of like a brother too. We play football together. We good. And he trying to diffuse our issues between us. And so, he set it up for Marsau and Martell to have a sit along. Remember, he did mention that last week. I think they need to talk alone. So Maurice set this up at a cigar bar. I don't know why Martell wasn't smoking, puffing. I don't even know if he's into cigars. So, but Marsau was. So they set it up. They're gonna talk by themselves. Cool. Chris asked if he stopped coming for him, maybe he will stop also. And it's like, exactly. That's all Marsau been asking Martell to do. But here go Martell. But he been coming for me and mine. Don't talk about coleslaw, and I won't talk about Trisha. Okay, fine. Will visits Ken at the house. Guess Trisha ain't there, child. Ken talks to him about Trisha, because that's all Ken talks about. And Miss Trisha been acting up. They've been arguing and everything. And he said he is tired of her. And I'm like, I know Will is like, yes, blood, yes, because I'm tired of you talking about her. Because we all are tired, Ken. So, Trisha embarrasses him in front of folks. And he really feels like she needs some help. But he is fed up, and he said they either got to find a solution or leave this situation. And I think Ken knows what he needs to do. So the last fight was about her walking in front of his recording when he was doing a podcast with Will and another guy in the garage. The garage is a gym. And every Monday they do Mental Monday where they just talk about their week and just kind of, a safe space for men to just get it all out, right? And so Trisha was walking past the camera and didn't say nothing to anybody. And so aggressively, Ken was like, you ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't, well, where's my bleep kiss? And it was kind of like, that's how you talk to your girl in front of your dudes. And Trisha, did you have to walk through the garage to get to the car when you knew he was recording? This is what he does every Monday. Were you doing this to be spiteful, to stir up more mess? You matching energy, that's what she be on, right? Oh, goodness. So he said he is ready to call a realtor, honey. And then when he does talk about leaving, she accuses him of being the bad guy. And he feels like he's been acting like the husband, doing husband material things, taking care of everybody, providing, protecting, and all that. And he said Trisha not even being a good girlfriend to him in return. He's not getting anything on this investment, okay? So he said they have more bad days than good. And she always telling him to leave, but when he leave, he's the bad one. So he's not gonna keep paying for everything and leaving at the same time. He loves the kids. He's gonna be a little heartbroken if he has to move past this whole family. Yes, it will be tough, but he gotta do what he gotta do. He would love to be around the kids, but it's up to her, them, whatever. He complains about Trisha's bad communication skills. We all know she don't talk. He feels like she needs therapy and knows that she's not gonna go get therapy. So yeah, pack your bags, Ken. Pack your bags. Okay. So Marsau and his daughter, Macy. Why is she called Macy? Maci. She's a teenager. They have a little daddy daughter date. They go to the nail salon. She wants him to paint his nails sparkly pink. He ain't having it. She's like, "What is that?" She's calling it a thing. And he's like, "No, I just don't. I'm allergic." So then they play Never Have I Ever. And so we find out that Macy has a boyfriend and she has hugged him. And then she stopped playing because these questions are getting weird. Like you're digging, Dad, you're digging. So then Marcel starts to tell her how he rizzed her mother. I rizzed your mama. Like, okay. She was dating this dude from this time to this time during school, and came in there and I just spun her around and swooped her off her feet. Okay, Pops, we get it. We understand. Okay. It was a cute moment, but okay. Then it's like, I think like Martell could be having these moments with his kids too, but no, he took Melody to court and told her the kids can't be on TV. And so we can't have more of the children because they're cute scenes, but they're kind of like forced, like we need this to be a part of this because we have nothing left. I told y'all the towel has been wrenched. This show is being wrenched. It has had its good moments, but just get some new couples. That's it. Like one more. One more. Okay. So then Marcel asked Macy to rate him. She's like, you were like an 8, not a 9, but maybe like a 7 or even a 6. It was like, golly, sometimes it's your own kids. It be your own kids. Just, oh my goodness. So he said, what about Tisha? She said, oh, she's a 10. Oh, she's your hero? Yes. Why? Because she works hard and she's home with us. She's the foundation of our house. Dang, Macy, calm down. Like, we get it, girl. She don't have no problem with her communication skills, honey. She did go teach Trisha how to speak from the heart. So he says, so when you need to go to therapy, she was like, yeah, you're going to be at the top of my list. He was like, no. She said, yeah, you are. So he says, well, will money and shopping change that? She was like, yes. And so then he tells her how proud he is of her and how he's lucky to have her as a daughter. And she can always come to him for anything. I said, all right, Marceau, go get your 10. Go get your 10, okay? She said, Moms is home with them. Boo boo. You need to bring your butt home sometimes. Be home with them. Do you even live there, Marcel? Do you? Hmm. Okay. The kids are telling it. Okay, but he tells her you can come to me for anything. I might get mad, but just come and I'll be come and talk to me. Alexa, play Jodeci. Come and talk to me. Okay. So, child, Trisha, Sharon, and Destiny meet at a wine bar. Destiny and Sharon seem like this is their second time meeting. They're like, hey, girl, hey. So, Destiny she has to learn how to box because the manager or someone, the head over there at her podcast, has hooked her up. And now she has a role in an independent film. So good for you, Destiny. Why they want you to box? Okay. Destiny boxes with her words, honey. She's a wordsmith, honey. That girl know how to read on point. You hear me? Now she gonna be fighting with her hands. Oh gosh. Oh, she gonna be a double threat. So Trisha says there is chaos between her and Ken, and they over there acting surprised. Child, duh. Don't do that. Y'all already know. Sharon, especially you. You too, Destiny. So they're on a break. Did he move out? No. What? I was like, what in the Bianca and Daniel is happening? Y'all breaking up and can't afford to move out? What is going on? The kid said realtor. So he like, I'm moving out when my house closes. And I was like, well, Ken, you can go buy Martell's house. It's been waiting on you since you got with Trisha. Go on over there. Problem solved. Move to Martell's house. Child. Martell, that house is supposed to be an income property. How you gonna make income with coleslaw in there? Unless she on Section 8. Ooh, maybe she is. She don't work, right? Did she have a boutique? Is she in nursing school? Oh, y'all, I just have I know what y'all think. Do y'all think she's coming on the show? If not this season, if there's a season 11, she's gonna, I think she's coming. And he's preparing us for it because we're not ready. We're not ready, Martell. We're not ready. So, child, they're not sure if they're going to get the whole story out of Trisha because she's withholding information and Trisha be lying, right? And so Ken thought she was being rude by walking through the garage while he was filming his podcast with his homies. And she didn't speak to nobody and she wouldn't give him a kiss on his demand. That was a little like, ooh, but he was upset, but it was like, ooh, don't do this in front of people. Mm-mm. And Destiny, learn how to hold a wine glass. I taught this lesson in Basketball Wives last season. Not the one I just finished, but the one before that. Besties, do not hold your wine glass by the glass. Okay, you see the stem? You see there's a glass, the stem, and a stand, right? You hold the wine glass by the stem. When you hold the glass, your fingers are warming up the wine. And of course, red wine is room temperature, but the thing about the chemistry of your hands and the glass is changing. It will change the taste in the wine. Okay, so there are three parts of the stem you can hold the glass. At the top of the stem, in the middle of the stem is good, but if you hold it near the base, that's the best place to hold a glass of wine, is at the base. So that's at the bottom, but there's three parts: the top, not touching the glass, the middle of the stem, or at the base of the stem. Okay, you're welcome. Do better, okay? So they got into it after the garage scene. He was like, "Give me all my stuff." Apparently, her son Xavier he went downstairs and gave his car keys back because Ken bought him that car. So they tell her that the relationship is with Ken, and you can talk to your kids about it later because the kids are reacting. He telling Trisha, "Give me back all my stuff," and then Xavier hears this, so he goes downstairs and put his car keys on the counter. Wow. And so Sharon is telling Trisha that she needs to be vulnerable. Like he needs to see the softness in you, allow him to lead. That's what that means. And she also needs to figure out what she wants. That's what Destiny told her. Because the kids are pushing down their emotions and their feelings because that's what you do, Trish. I was like, clock that T. Yes. Work on your communication skills, Trisha, because you don't talk. So Ken, they tell her Ken loves you. He loves your kids like his own. And, it's hard to find that kind of man nowadays, honey. And so she was like, oh man, yeah. And so Destiny was telling her, and you need to stop matching energy. And she said, oh my gosh, you're coming for me because that's what I be doing. Yeah, Trisha, you are childish in that area. You need to be single because you need to work out your marriage, divorce and go get you some therapy. And if you guys saw the preview for next week, she's talking to Dr. Francis. Ooh, good job, Trisha. She's crying and everything. I can't wait. So she says, yeah, I have my moments, you know. And I said, yeah, it seems like you're having more moments. That's the problem. The moments keep happening too often. And she says she's filled with anger. Yes, and you should be. You know, you should be. You and Marquez have been through HELL. You know, yes. Sharon feels like Ken isn't being validated in the good deeds he does because she's staying on defense mode, right? And I'm like, she is. And so she says their issues are he has this aggression and then she has her damage. And together it ain't gonna work. And so Destiny tells her, yeah, you're bringing your old self into this, from your old self, Marquez, your marriage, you're bringing that into this relationship, and it's just bad energy. And it's like, yes, that's all she knows. She was been with that boy since she was a kid. And, she says she wants to keep Ken, but, the girls aren't convinced. And so Destiny tells her, you need to fight for your relationship. Child, so now Marceau and Martell meet at the cigar bar. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, Maurice Scott Jr. So, y'all, Martell wants to get past all the disrespect and get to a place where it never occurs again. He wants to move forward. He wants to erase everything and keep moving. And life doesn't work like that, gaslighter. So, narcissist. So, Marceau says Martell was a friend for like 4 years. He tells them, he said, but you wasn't a friend for like 7 years. Yeah, you helped me when I was in a bad place. Thank you for that. But Martell keeps coming for him and keeps coming for him. And Marceau said, I'm not going to allow I'm not going to be his punching bag. Okay. You go gaslight somebody else. Okay. So, and he says he's been doing this for years, 7 years. Okay. Marceau says he hasn't said a word about Martell. And Martell is like, Marceau, stop lying. Marceau disagrees that he has been lying. Martell tells Marceau that he needs to go home and pray and ask the Lord to deliver him from being a compulsive liar. You need to go home and pray. Oh my goodness. Martell. Whew. Martell. Marcel says Martell was talking bad about Trisha to hurt him. You only did that because I said something about your fiance. You see how Marceau is calling coleslaw his fiance? So Martell's like, no, 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 bro. No, no, no. Really? And so the production ran the tape back to when Marceau told Martell, yeah, you taught me something. You taught me how not to lose my marriage for a shareable side chick. Ooh, y'all remember that? That was at Destiny's Field Day. Martell says Tisha inserted herself in the conversation. Marceau was like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. So Martell was like, okay. He admitted that he shouldn't have said anything to her. Then he told Marceau he thought they would both apologize to each other. Then he says, doing interviews, I thought that was stupid. That's why it took me so long to do it because I didn't want to do it. And I'm just like, well, Martell, how are you convinced into doing it? Because I don't do things that I don't want to do. I don't. So he thought after that interview that Marceau was going to speak on it, and he didn't. And so that has Martell confused. Marceau is not fooling with you, Martell. Do you understand? Let me make it frank to you. Martell, come here, sir. Come here, child. You're a backstabber. Okay? And you have a bad track record of that. And Marceau is afraid. He knows that this little apology you're trying to do right now will not last. He doesn't want your apology. He doesn't want to be your friend. He doesn't want to trust you because he can't. He knows he will regret getting buddy buddy with you again. Martell, the writing is on the wall. He sees through you, and you're not going to change your behavior. He ain't fooling with you, blood. Real talk. You got some eternal things you need to work on. You have been gaslighting these women all your life, probably since when you and Maurice was playing football. And you are so upset because your gaslighting has come to a stop. Melody left you high and dry. And you are so mad that Maurice and Marsau is still with their women. You're all the same. You just got a different outcome. And Martell, you hate to be at the bottom. And Marsau and Maurice are on top. And now you struggling. This is your karma. This is your karma. And he is grasping for straws, trying to keep this brotherhood with Marsau because they got something on each other. But Marsau is pretty much telling him, leave me alone, don't mention me, and I won't mention you. That's pretty much what he's trying to tell him, like, bruh, I'm trying to be cool without being cool with you. I'm going to keep it on lock. You better shut up too and stop talking about me. You know, Martell got a reckless mouth. So Martell says, so what? So effing what, bro? Get all that. Let's get past this and see where it goes. And see where it goes. You're not even taking any accountability for anything. You think you are, but you're not. And then you want to just see where it goes. No, you owe him some kind of contract on how you're going to do better. How are you going to improve? You need Cynthia Bailey to write you up a friend's contract to give to Marsau. You need to, don't see where it goes. It's going to go in the trash. Marsau don't want to fool with you. You're giving him nothing to move past. He's told you. You only been cool for 4 years. Out of the 11 years, y'all been cool. The 7 years, you have been a mess. That's who you are. It's who you are. Martell says he's acting like a diva and a victim. Yes, of your narcissism. Melly is a victim. Coleslaw is a victim. I'm a victim. The besties are a victim. Kimmy's a victim. Maurice is a victim. Tisha's a victim. Wanda is a victim. Destiny is a victim. Who else? Trisha is a victim. Stormy was a victim. The kids are a victim. Marlene is a victim. Who else? Who else? Courtney was a victim. What's the other people that was on there? The big guy and the little light skinned girl. Can't think of their names. Oh, what was their names, y'all? They had the baby and they got off the show because of postpartum. What's their names? They was victims like Martell. Come on, bruh. See where it goes. So Martell's no, we're not seeing where anything goes. Marsau says Martell will apologize, and then he'll go back to martelling. Martell says he has taken accountability, so don't be doing that. I took my accountability. I know how to do that. I learned that. He's aware of all the stuff that he did. He acts so Marcel's like, he'll act like he want to change. He will tell you he want to change. He gonna say the things, but he's not going to. So here's Marcel's resolution to Martell. Very clear, very plain. Stop saying beep about me. Then it can build naturally. Or it can be just like this. Okay, but what about you? Man, Martell, Marcel said, look, bruh, I only respond when you say something about me. That's the only time your name is in my mouth. I respond. So when you talk to your fiance tonight, you tell her too to stop saying beep about me and mine. My kids, my wife, my mother in law, stop talking about all of us. Martell says, and when you go home, you tell Tisha the same. Because Ariane, I said her name. No. He said, because something about the Holt gang. And he said, and coleslaw is a part of the Holt gang. And I know she over there somewhere just smiles it is just happy and grinning from ear to ear. But then, okay, I just know she's somewhere happy, just all giddy. So they agreed not to be in negative spaces with each other. And it ends right here. Martell was like, can it end right here, right now? Let's just stop right now. That's all I wanted, blood. No more, no less. Let's let it end. And he gets up and leaves. And then before he leaves, Marcel says, well, hopefully it's genuine because I'm being genuine. Because now, they both want peace. And Martell, you want it and you say you want it, but are you ready for peace? I don't think you are. You don't even have an idea what peace is. Peace is solitude, peace is quiet, peace is focusing, resting, praying, writing in your journal, getting therapy. I mean, Martell, are you ready for peace? Okay, besties. Now let me tell you about the tea, child. So sometime this week, Lance's. Are you liking the video? Let me give y'all 2 seconds. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video. I'm gonna make a song. Like the video. Comment. Subscribe. Like. Comment. Subscribe. Like. Comment. Subscribe. Comment. Like. Subscribe. Notification bell, notification bell. So, child, wait a minute. She said, honey, all that single daddy stuff is a storyline. She says she is very well in the picture. Her and Lance have been together for a long time, and all that is cap that they talking about on this here TV show. And I told y'all, I was like, where is this? Where is this mysterious baby mama? Where does she go? I told y'all that girl work at night. I'm sure she works nights. And that makes sense why Nell asked him last week, how's the baby? It makes sense. There is a mother in the picture. This is all cap. Okay, besties. Well, that's that on that. This was the end of the episode. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you on the next recap. Bye, besties.